Scene script. Have you ever wondered how to make fried fish in more than one way? Well, we're going to dive right into that today, starting with a timeless classic, the traditional fried fish. The beauty of this dish lies in its simplicity. You don't need an array of exotic ingredients or complex cooking techniques. What you do need, however, are a few staple pantry items and a little love for cooking. So, let's talk ingredients. First off, of course, you need fish. You can choose any type you prefer, cod, haddock, or even tilapia. Then, you'll need flour. This creates the crispy exterior that we all love. Seasonings are key too, so grab some salt and pepper, and let's not forget the oil. A good, high smoke point oil like canola or vegetable oil is best for the job. Now let's get cooking. First things first, clean the fish. This means removing the scales and guts, rinsing it under cold water, and patting it dry. Once your fish is clean, it's time for seasoning. Sprinkle a generous amount of salt and pepper on both sides. Don't be shy. This is your chance to infuse the fish with flavour. Next, coat the fish in flour. Make sure it's fully covered, but shake off any excess. This step is crucial for achieving that golden, crispy crust we're after. Then comes the frying. Heat your oil in a deep pan until it's hot enough that a bit of flour dropped in sizzles instantly. Carefully slide your fish into the pan. You'll want to fry it until it's a beautiful golden brown colour. This usually takes about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. And there you have it, the classic method of frying fish. Simple, yet delicious. But what if we spice things up a bit? Stay tuned to find out how. Ever thought about adding a little twist to your fried fish? Let's introduce beer to the mix. This scene is all about creating a dish that's as fun to make as it is to eat. Beer-battered fish. This method of frying fish is famous for its crispiness and unique taste thanks to the bubbly beer. So, what do we need for this culinary adventure? It's pretty simple. You'll need your choice of fish, flour, salt, pepper, oil, and of course beer. The type of beer is up to your preference. However, a lager or ale generally works best. First things first, make sure your fish is cleaned and ready. You can use whole fish or fillets, but make sure they're dry before you begin. A good tip is to pat them dry with a paper towel, which will help the batter stick better. Now, on to the fun part, the beer batter. In a bowl, combine your flour, a pinch of salt, a sprinkle of pepper, and then slowly pour in your beer while whisking. The consistency we're aiming for is not too thick, not too thin, but just right to coat the fish evenly. Once your batter is ready, it's time to dip your fish. Make sure each piece is thoroughly coated with the batter, allowing any excess to drip off. Now let's move on to the frying. Heat your oil in a deep pan, or a fryer if you have one. The oil needs to be hot enough to make the batter crispy, but not so hot that it burns. Drop in your battered fish carefully and fry until it's a beautiful golden brown. And there you have it, golden, crispy, beer-battered fish. The beer in the batter not only adds a unique flavour, but also creates a light, crispy texture that's hard to resist. Voila, beer-battered fish, a crispy delight for the taste buds. But we're not done yet. Let's move on to our third method. How about breaded fried fish for a change? It's all about the extra crunch. Let's get started on this delightful dish. To kick things off, you'll need a few simple ingredients. First, the star of the show, the fish. Any white fish like cod or haddock will work beautifully. Then you'll need some flour, salt and pepper to season, and of course oil for frying. The real game changer here though is the breadcrumbs. They're what will give our fish that extra crunch we're after. And to bind it all together, you'll need a couple of beaten eggs. Once you've gathered your ingredients, it's time to dive into the process. Start by giving the fish a good clean. Make sure to remove any scales and fins, and if you prefer, you can also remove the bones. Once it's cleaned, pat it dry. This is an important step as it helps the flour to stick better. Next, season your flour with salt and pepper, giving it a good mix. This is where your fish starts to take on flavour. Coat your fish in this seasoned flour. Make sure it's fully covered, shaking off any excess. Now it's time for a dip in the beaten eggs. This step ensures your breadcrumbs will stick to the fish. After the egg bath, roll your fish in the breadcrumbs. Ensure it's generously coated for that ultimate crunch. Finally, it's time to fry. Heat your oil until it's hot but not smoking. Carefully place your breaded fish in the oil and let it cook until golden brown and crispy. This usually takes about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Once it's done, remove it from the oil and let it rest on a paper towel to soak up any excess oil. This keeps the fish crispy and not oily. And there you go, breaded fried fish. Perfect for those who love a good crunch. Ready for our final method? Do you like it hot? Let's turn up the heat with our spicy fried fish. Excitement is in the air as we dive into the world of spices. The recipe we're about to explore is not for the faint-hearted. It's a blend of fiery flavours and crispy textures that will set your taste buds ablaze. So, let's get started. First things first, let's talk about our key players. The fish, flour, salt, pepper, oil, and of course the star of the show, your favourite hot sauce or chili powder. The fish can be any variety of your liking as long as it's fresh and firm. The flour will give our fish that irresistible crunch, while the salt and pepper will enhance its natural flavours. The oil, preferably vegetable or canola, is where our fish will take its hot bath. And finally, the hot sauce or chili powder, the element that will send this dish into the spicy stratosphere. Now let's get our hands dirty. Start by cleaning the fish thoroughly. This step is crucial as it removes any impurities and prepares the fish for seasoning. Once it's clean, it's time to season. Sprinkle the fish generously with salt and pepper. Then, the moment we've all been waiting for, drench it in your favourite hot sauce or dust it with chili powder. This is where you can truly make this dish your own. Go mild, go wild, but remember, the spice is the essence of this recipe. Once our fish is seasoned, it's time to coat it in flour. Make sure every nook and cranny is covered. This will ensure a uniform crunch once it hits the oil. Speaking of oil, it's time to heat it up. You want it hot, but not smoking. When the oil is ready, gently place the fish in it and let it fry until it turns a beautiful golden colour. There you have it, spicy fried fish that will surely kick up the heat. But let's wrap things up and summarise what we've learned today. So we've explored 4 different methods of making fried fish today. Let's take a moment to recap and appreciate the culinary journey we've embarked on. We began with the classic fried fish, a straightforward and simple method, yet capable of delivering an exquisite taste. Coated lightly in flour, this method allows the fresh flavours of the fish to take centre stage. It's a testament to the notion that sometimes less is indeed more. Next, we dove into the world of beer-battered fish. This method introduced a new element of flavour, thanks to the beer-infused batter. The beer not only adds a unique taste, but also helps to create a light, crispy coating that's a joy to bite into. It's a method that's a bit more indulgent, but oh, so worth it. Our third method, the breaded fried fish, took us on a different path. With a coating of breadcrumbs, this method offers a delightful crunch with every bite. It's a texture lover's dream, delivering a contrast between the tender fish and the crispy exterior. This method invites you to play around with different types of breadcrumbs to add an extra layer of flavour. Lastly, we turned up the heat with the spicy fried fish. This variant is for those who love a little kick in their food. The spices not only add a vibrant colour but also infuse the fish with a heat that lingers. It's a method that's bold, daring and above all, delicious. Each method has its unique charm and offers a different taste experience. Whether you prefer the simplicity of the classic fried fish, the indulgence of beer-battered fish, the textural delight of breaded fried fish, or the bold flavours of spicy fried fish, there's a method here to satisfy your cravings. Try these methods at home and discover your favourite way of frying fish. Until next time, happy cooking.